Hello again. Back with another Two Question Tuesday. My name is Bryant Duhan. I'm editor-in-chief of the Document Imaging Report published by InfoSource. We have with us today a frequent contributor to DIR and a long-term friend, Kevin Neal, who is CEO of P3iD. And today we're going to talk about thin scanning, which Kevin is a huge proponent of. So let's just start with the basics. What is thin scanning?
Yeah. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it very much. And as you mentioned, I'm very passionate about network scanning. So, as a product manager previously in my career for hardware, and then working at a software company, I always thought that network attached scanning would be a thing. Just like copy machines all have network interfaces, they have Ethernet connections, but single purpose scanners have traditionally been attached via USB. So you have to install a scanner driver on a PC, your capture software on a PC. So provisioning that computer, then doing the Windows updates, installing the right version of the scanner driver, whether it's 32-bit or 64-bit, all these things complicated the deployment process for document scanners. So in the scanning uh, in the scanning business, it was always frustrating because we had to wait for the computer to get set up in order to deploy our scanners. So what is thin scanning? Basically, it's taking a computer. So this is a little like mini computer, thin client computer. That the idea is that these little things they have a memory chip, and they have just enough power to do a computer software application on this. So you see them like in hospitals, they might mount this on the back of a screen where you're not storing anything locally on this. It's just running an operating system, it's displaying an interface, and then all the storage and the workflows on a centralized server. So what is thin scanning? We've taken this concept of a mini computer, it's like Intel inside, and we put it inside the scanner. So certain scanners from Xerox, they've taken the Twain Direct technology, and they put it inside the scanner. So this provides connectivity without needing a computer. So the scanner now has image processing on the chip. It has Twain Direct connectivity. So you can have a software application connect directly to the scanner and communicate to the scanner, and you can have a web application that just you just connect to the scanner without a PC, and basically it just allows a more secure connection because you don't have an operating system software that can get viruses and malware, and you're not using that computer for other purposes. It's all the technology is inside of the scanner, and it's locked down, and the software application connects to it. So thin scanning is this bundle. It's the software application, it's P3iD ScanBot behind the scenes, and then a Xerox enabled Twain Direct scanner bundled together that you can get this. And it's a web scanning interface. So basically you can deploy the scanner in like 5 minutes. You just go to the IP address or the host name of the scanner, because it's got an embedded web browser to do all this setup and configuration. And then you register the scanner one time. It's about a 5-minute process, even if you're not familiar with how to do it. You register it with Thin Scanner software, and then it's registered, and anybody that's has access to thin scanning software application can then use those scanners. So you can imagine, hey, Brian, I want to send you some documents. And traditionally, I'd have to scan a document and then upload the PDF file via email to you. But I could say, hey, Brian, guess what? Why don't you connect to my scanner using Thin Scanner? Just go to my URL of capture.thinscanner.com. You just go there and you bring in the documents to you directly, instead of me having to scan and then attach it to an email. So I had a use case just the other day. I wanted to send my tax documents to my CPA, and he said, yeah, Kevin, can you send those over? So I said, hey, why don't you just go, just like I described, just go to a web address, and then you can pull in the documents directly to you. So this allows scanner sharing. It allows, again, security because there's no PC involved, quick deployments. So really, that's what thin scanning is. The essence of taking the computer and putting the memory and the logic inside of the scanner itself using the Twain Direct scanning protocol.
Okay. Also, just as a quick aside for anybody listening, Twain is a industry neutral group. I will put the contact information down below. So if anyone's interested in following up, and Twain, sorry, Kevin is also on the board of Twain as well, and he's very involved in this stuff and truly does love it for whatever reason. So. Second question is, sort of the natural follow-on. What is you alluded to some of this, but what is the business value of thin scanning?
Yeah, so I'll address Twain first. I am passionate about it because first of all, it is an open source software. So Twain Direct is open source, so you can go get it. You can develop an application like P3 has, right? So Twain Direct itself is just a scanner protocol, but you've got to add authentication and encryption and all kinds of kind of other storage to it and stuff. So I am passionate about it, and I encourage people to join the Twain working group. So that's number one. So number two, the business value of thin scanning solutions. This is why I'm so excited, because as soon as people kind of see how quickly we can deploy scanners, then the light bulb goes on. Because we've been conditioned, people that are longtime resellers or managed service providers or ISVs, they've just become accustomed to, okay, go get a scanning computer, then like I just said before, install the software, do the Windows updates, get the right version of the driver. Like, we've just been conditioned to do that, and it takes a long time, even if you've been doing it for a long time. So all this time that's consumed costs businesses a lot of money. The IT department has to do it, or the end user company has to do it. Somebody is doing all that work. And there's real cost to that, but businesses really don't understand it, or really don't calculate the cost, I should say.
Mhm.
So those are the soft dollars that aren't really understood. So if you can deploy a scanner in 5 minutes, like I mentioned, this is revolutionary. This is a game changer, like huge. And that's why I've been passionate and advocating for thin scanning, because if I could deploy scanners in 5 minutes, and then I can get this set up and all the settings are on the central server, guess what that means? That means that I could deploy 50, 100, 200 scanners in like very quickly. And I've experienced this where one of our previous customers got one scanner set up with one server. That was just one, and they were going to slow roll 50 at a time to different regions of the United States. But because they found it so simple to deploy, all they did was send an instructional video to their end user clients, end user organizations. So they just sent it to the stores, and they said, this is how you install it, just as a reference. But even the stores didn't even need that. They just literally plugged it in. When they booted up the scanner, then it had all the buttons on the scanner. So so this is why I'm so passionate about it. The ease of deployment, especially for managed service providers. If you can deploy scanners quickly, guess what? Your customer is
Mhm.
getting value out of that solution almost the same day that they get the scanner. Whereas traditionally they had to spend weeks or months, or sometimes they never even did get to the final deployment because they're messing with scanner settings and the drivers were wrong and the operating system wasn't right. You hear all these things that are very complicated when it comes to scanner drivers. So if you eliminate that, and then you can change the settings on the server itself, then you as an ISV, you as a managed service provider, you as a reseller, you as an integrator, you are in control of that environment. And you could see even trends, for example, in the reporting tool, for example. You could see that this scanner, maybe it was rated for 1,000 pages a day, but they're scanning 5,000 sheets. You could say, hey, you know what, you're overusing that scanner, you might want to get another one, or you're not using it enough. Maybe there's abnormally high paper jams, and you could say, hey, you know what, this is kind of a humid environment and the paper's sticking together,
Mhm.
or maybe the operator needs more training. So you can get some business insights from the dashboards and the reporting tools. So really, when you ask about the business value, quick deployments, rapid deployments, you can get time to value, centralized management
Mhm.
of changing settings, changing profiles, and then reporting tools. So that you can then have an efficient process and always see your environment, right? You could see, hey, you could even see those kinds of scans. Maybe all of a sudden somebody in marketing is scanning a bunch of documents with PII or social security numbers or credit card numbers. Where why would a marketing person be scanning these kind of documents, right? And it alerts you and it just says, hey, might want to look at that, and
Yeah.
maybe there's a good reason or something. But having a view into your environment is really a huge value in a way that you can provide tremendous business efficiency. There's a lot of business values from deploying to managing to creating a more efficient business process.
Thank you, Kevin. As you were talking about the complexity, I had a flashback to what my days as editor at AIM. I literally did a follow-up on what I thought would be an interesting case study. Um, and they were like, sorry, we can't do it. And I asked why. And they said, well, off the record, it's still and everything is literally like in a closet because it was too hard to roll out, and it was a basic scanning implementation. For anyone listening, I am not a technology uh, capable person. Kevin has shown me this. It actually looks as easy as he just described it. I think I could even do it. So if you're interested in thin scanning, definitely check out the resources that I'll add below. Kevin, as always, thank you very much for your time.